when I was younger and I first got started with this, I was very hungry. I was very driven. I was very motivated. And I don't want to say poo-pooed, but I was like, okay, I understand you have to want it. And you kind of push that to the waistline. I want it. I'm good. I don't need to pay attention to that. But as you get older and you have responsibilities, you have kids, businesses, work, family stuff, you really need to have the right mindset in order to set yourself up for success. So, Skip, in your 33 years of experience, let's hear it. Mindset. What type of mindset does someone over the age of 40 need to have true success with their fitness?
Yeah, that is a great question. And, it comes down to some is better than none. And to be very patient and persistent, it's understanding what's important and what's not. And that's really challenging when you're in the fitness world, especially when, how you and I, we were younger, our whole life, our identity was being healthy, fit, going to the gym, talking about training, right? And we taught from that perspective. And that's not, when you get over 40 and you have responsibilities, that's just not how you prioritize things. That's not how you think. You're just trying to get healthy and fit. A lot of the information is overkill. It's not needed for what, someone over 40 with a busy, productive life, as I say, it's not needed. But being able to differentiate what's important, what's not, it's crucial. It's crucial if you're going to keep on going and feel certain with what you're doing. So being patient, your expectations of what's going to happen in what time frame is really important too. All those things are under that umbrella of mindset.
Yeah, 100%. And you know what's actually funny is that people come up to me all the time, and I'm sure you get this all the time too. They're so worried about the X's and O's. How many grams of protein do I need to get in good shape? How many days should I be working out? How many sets? How many reps? And we're going to cover that for you guys. But you can have the best plan in the world, but if you are not able to execute on that plan, it's useless. It's completely useless. You can have Skip or myself write you a program. It could be the best thing ever. But if you don't execute, you're done. And I actually did a seminar the other night for my clients, and we basically talked about the definition of time. And our whole philosophy is I can get you into shape, best shape ever in half the time. But the time component of that, and I put that in quotations because the time component is going to be different for every person. As we age, our bodies start to change, and we're going to cover hormones and things like that as well. So that time component of it is really the thing that's going to be different from person to person to person. Now, when we talk about mindset, we talk about building something that's way stronger than willpower and way stronger than discipline. And those are habits. And I remember as a kid watching Skip's videos, and I love them. I still watch them to this day. And one of the ones that kind of laid the groundwork for my own discipline and building these habits that we're going to talk about was success is a planned event. And that I watched that when I was like 14 or 15 years old, and it's stuck with me ever since because it is so true. Now, habits beat willpower, and they actually beat discipline. Willpower and discipline are almost like a gas tank. You can have a full tank of gas. You can listen to this right now, get really, really motivated and ready to do something. But, life starts to chip away at that. The kids start to chip away at that. Now, middle of the day, you're on halfway through. By the end of the week, you're on empty. You have no more willpower, so you give in and you start having the chips, the pizza, and all that other stuff. But habits stick. So what's a really good habit that we've had that we don't have to think about? Brushing your teeth. That's a good habit. We've built a strong neural pathway with brushing our teeth, right? That means that no matter what, you brush your teeth, you don't have to think about it. We want to do the same thing with fitness. And that comes with building those distinct habits that we need to have in order for this to be an everyday occurrence. So we'll get into the training component of it in a bit, but Skip and I are both on the same philosophy of get the most that you can out of less when it comes to your training. So 30 to 45-minute sessions is plenty to stimulate muscle and get back to where you need to go. But you have to be able to fit that 30 minutes into your life and make it a habit. Skip, anything you want to add to that?
Yeah, definitely. I understand with so much information out there, which habits are important, which habits aren't. A lot of times, you may have the right habits, but you feel so uncertain. You're going down the right way, down the freeway. I always talk about back in my day, we didn't have GPS to tell us, turn around, stupid, you're going the wrong way. So when I was a young kid, I spent so many hours on a freeway. Is this the right way? Should I turn around? Should I speed up, slow down? What's that going to do, right? So much uncertainty. Many times I was going the right way, and all that angst just ruined my experience. Didn't think about where I was going, right? Sometimes it was a good thing I turned around because I would have been going the wrong way. I really feel as though, we've been doing this a long time and we've developed that certainty, but there's a lot of smart, hardworking older people that have been successful in many areas of life. They're just doing this fitness thing so uncertain, even when they're doing it right. So it's, getting with a coach, someone who can instill this certainty that you are doing it right. So you can just drive, just get the work done without all that angst causing you to stop, go, and ruining your experience. Because once you know what to do, then it's a matter of just getting it done. It's doing those right habits, right? But you got to follow through with the habits. You got to have that level of certainty, and that's where a coach comes in.
Yeah, that's a great point too. And it's funny because a lot of people, they come to me, they're very, very, successful in their businesses and their outside lives, but they can't apply that same thing to their fitness. And it's funny because when you apply that level of discipline to your fitness and you make sure that you eat the right foods every day and you train every day, that discipline carries over into so many other areas of your life. And I would actually happen to say that I think like in business and family life, it's much harder to get those habits and disciplines down than it is in the fitness side. It's much easier to do that, but you will see a tremendous carryover once you start taking care of your body. Because remember, guys, you only get one. You don't get a second chance at having a great body. And when you implement all the strategies we're going to tell you today, you're going to beat aging. You're going to look better naked, which is the goal for most people. You're going to be able to keep up with your kids and get stronger and, beat the aging process, which is ultimately what we all want to do. And my esteemed colleague here has done a great job of doing that. I mean, this guy, if you watch videos of him now training in the gym, he's training just as heavy as he did in his prime. So yeah, but again, it goes with the mindset. And we talked about this before, but building strong neural pathways.
Yeah, one thing I want to add to that, because mindset is so important, is that a lot of the men who I help, I mean, you're right, they're successful with their family and business, the amount of success and discipline that they've shown in those areas. I mean, I have so much admiration and respect for what they've done at this stage of my life, because I was imbalanced, becoming a 6-time national champion, drug-free bodybuilder. It was everything in the world to me. They put that kind of effort to their family and in their business. All right. We're just all wired differently to what's important to us. All right. Fitness. And I think that's a lot of frustration. I want to show empathy to, the men and women who are watching this. All right. I get you. I know how frustrating it could be when you should be able to just move more, eat less, right? You're a smart person, you've accomplished a lot of things, and you have a fitness expert, or it seems like an internet. Just go to the gym, just do this, just be in a calorie deficit. And it can be frustrating that you don't get that empathy from a fitness expert. They're wired differently. If you really think about it, many of the fitness experts who are getting all this information, they're not applying it to their life. They're just wired towards fitness and not wired to the level of success or family that you have. So sometimes making that connection, it isn't as easy. I understand you, right? It may never be as wired as heavily as a person who's just making fitness their identity. It may never be wired. And that's where a coach comes in to just give you the hacks, the simple habits. So you don't need 33 years or 20 years of doing this, because they've simplified it. All right. So you don't have to use as much discipline or time or willpower that what you don't have. All right. It's not as much. You just want to be healthy and fit. And that coach can give you those simple habits. So it's easier to apply it to your regular life and call upon all those things that made you successful in other areas. But I understand sometimes that's really frustrating when you can be so great in one area and you're having such a challenge with fitness. And it's not helpful if I just tell you to move more and eat less. I understand this mindset, what we're talking about. It's a lot more than that.
Yeah, I mean, I agree 100%. You know, the thing is that fitness is it's tough because it's an everyday thing. And this is why, I talked about earlier building strong neural pathways to be able to develop these things into habits so they're second nature to you. You know, myself and we can include Skip on this too, but we can both look at a plate of food and with very, very good precision know how many calories, how many protein, carbs, fats this meal is, right? But it's taken us 20 years to be able to perfect this. So when you hire a coach, you're buying that time that it's going to take you to learn that same habit. And most people get frustrated with their fitness because they look at the magazines and online and they see, oh, look, this person got in really good shape in 12 weeks, so I'm going to do it too. But in reality, it takes way longer than 12 weeks. You can get in great shape in 12 weeks. I'm not saying you can't. But then what happens after that? How many people do you know that follow this diet, that diet, the other diet, and after 12 weeks, they go back to where they were? That's because those neural habits and structures in their brain weren't built correctly. So the goal, when you have a good coach like myself and Skip, the goal is to be able to teach you how to get in good shape and be able to maintain that for the rest of your life so it becomes a strong, strong habit. So excellent point there, Skip.